So here's a detailed overview of the James's Younger Gang. Origins and members: the James and younger brothers Jesse, Nicole, Jim, Bob came together as Confederate guerrillas under William Quantrill during the Civil War in Missouri. But after 1865, their political motivations gave way to pure profit, and so they formed what became known as the James Younger Gang around 1868. This gang of outlaws is considered one of the most notorious in American history. By 1868, the group consisted of Jesse and Frank James, Cole, Jim, Bob, and John Younger, along with associates like Clell Miller, Charlie Pitts, Bill Chadwell, Arthur McCoy, and others. Crime spree: they carried out a notorious decade-long campaign across the Midwest. Bank robberies: they hit banks from Missouri to Iowa to Kentucky, including Liberty MO in 1866, where they made off with about $60,000, the first daylight bank robbery in U.S. history. Other banks they robbed include those in Savannah, Richmond, Russellville, Gallatin, Corydon, Columbia, St. Genevieve, and more. Train and stagecoach robberies: they also held up trains and stagecoaches such as in Adair in July 1873. Gads Hill Mo in January 1874, which became famous for the train holdup. The Hot Springs AR stagecoach in January 1874. And the Missouri Pacific train in 1876. During their crime spree, they accumulated a small fortune and also cultivated an outlaw image. At least 11 civilians were killed during their robberies, but they often spared working men and women, claiming to rob the rich for the poor. Turning point. The Northfield Raid on September 7, 1876. The gang attempted to rob the First National Bank of Northfield, Minnesota, but things quickly unraveled. Townspeople resisted, and by the end, 2 citizens and 3 gang members were dead. And most of the gang, including both the James boys, were wounded. A massive manhunt ensued. On September 21st, near Madelia, MN, a posse captured Bob, Cole, and Jim Younger. 2 Pinkerton agents and John Younger had been killed in earlier confrontations. Fate of the gang: the Youngers pleaded guilty to avoid hanging and received life sentences in Minnesota's Stillwater prison. Jim and Cole were paroled in 1901. Jim committed suicide in 1902. Cole was pardoned in 1903 and toured in Wild West shows before dying in 1916. Bob died in custody of tuberculosis in 1889. Meanwhile, Jesse James escaped to Minnesota, continued his crimes until he was shot and killed by Robert Ford in 1882. Frank James surrendered in 1882, was found not guilty, and spent years in Missouri before also joining Cole in the Wild West shows. He passed away in 1915. Legacy and impact. The James Younger Gang as downfall marked. Significant shift as ordinary citizens and local law enforcement proved effective against some of the most notorious outlaws of the day. Newspapers helped turn them into legendary figures. And later films like The Assassination of Jesse James and The Long Riders immortalized their exploits. Today, both Northfield and Madelia hold annual commemorations, with Northfield celebrating defeat of Jesse James' days and Madelia honoring the Younger brothers' capture with reenactments. In summary, the James Younger Gang was born of wartime violence and evolved into one of the most infamous outlaw bands of the Old West. Please comment if you'd like to hear about individual bank robbers like Jesse James, and please follow my channel so I can make more videos like this.